Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this hastily thrown together post-match. You can see the shake of the head. We've brought two podcasting, I won't say legends, I'll say long-suffering Sharks fans together. Where are you right now, mate?
Part of me wants to say about to drive off a bridge, but I'm not going to be that dramatic. I'll give everyone a tip. Don't start a podcast about your favorite team. It only breaks your heart and fills your inbox.
It does, mate. That's where all these grey hairs come from. You can see the hair jumping out of my head. I'm
22 years old, man.
We have nothing planned. We're just going to see where this goes. Anyone who comments, anyone who wants to jump on, let me know. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Mate, what are your feelings just after, what we just saw? Everyone saw it.
I don't want to be boring, but the lesson is what we all know. Those starts are killing us. And we're off our game so much now that we can't come back and win the games we were doing earlier in the year. Just can't do it, man. I was working on the game and we had was it 6 possessions in the opening 20 or something? Opening 10. It was crazy. And some of it was, I guess, unavoidable. Some of it was avoidable. The Talakai sin bin, the 6 agains, the penalties, the drop field goal, the short dropouts, some of them genius. Don't do it every time. Go long. I just thought they kind of fell into this hole, Dan, and they couldn't get out. And second half, they almost got out, and it would have I don't even think it would have glossed over everything. We just would have all had a sigh of relief, but it wasn't meant to be. They just can't keep doing it, Dan. I don't know. I know people are going to blame staff and players and that kind of thing. I honestly think they're all in it together. And what is happening with those 20 minutes? I don't get it. I'm at a loss.
Well, mate, full disclosure, the reason you're here is because I'm like this, and you always just a little bit temper me down because there were other people, i.e. my housemate, who would have just driven me off the actual edge. Yeah. But for the opening 20 minutes, full disclosure, I left work late. I was on the train. I logged in at Ginali, and by the time I got to Miranda, we hadn't touched the ball once.
Yeah.
Not once.
Yeah.
We all said the start's absolutely key. Vossi made the joke, at least we can't drop the ball off the first set because we don't have it this time. And Cam McInnes gives away a penalty. From there, 7 minutes later, we're 6-0 down. And, it's not game over, of course, but you're like, oh, geez, here we go again. We saw Royce Hunt brought in to give that oomph in the front. Didn't touch the ball for 8 minutes, almost scored on his first or second touch. Dropped the ball. I still haven't seen that, by the way. I'm literally just catching up on the first 20 now.
Yeah.
I came in and I saw it was 12-0 and Talakai was just running onto the field. And my thinking was, what the hell? How are we still in this? Yep. At half-time, though, we should have been up by 2 tries. We just kept blowing tries, just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, it's a good point, Dan. I mean, at half-time, I was stoked because it was only 12-0. And if we're first to score any points at all second half, I think we're on. They got the penalty goal. But the Titans should have been up. A better team would have been up by 30, and that's no exaggeration. But thanks to NS for the beard wrap. I don't know, man.
Can you get my mouse, please?
I don't know. We just keep blowing those leads early. I know we're practicing not to do it. I've seen them at training. They're not dicking around. It's all hard work. They're working their butts off to get out of this. I think we will get out of it. That's the good news. But what sort of damage we do along the way, maybe you say goodbye to top 4. I don't know. If you keep, we got Tigers next week. That's no pushover, man. All those young kids around, us out. That's must wins. Next week's must win.
Absolutely. I'll get to the comments in a section. Sam can't stay forever, so I'll go to those after he's back on the way. Look, at halftime, we're 12-0 down, and I'm thinking the same. Oh, good. To the Gold Coast Titans, who are, apart from the game where they blew the Warriors off the park 2 weeks ago, are not a good football team. They're the sort of team you look at and think, cool, there's 2 points. And we're celebrating not being more than 12-0 down at halftime. I think that shows where we're at right now.
Yes, absolutely. A colleague of mine said, well, you almost won with having no reason to win that game. That's pretty good. And I went, that's not going to get us higher on the ladder. like sticking around, showing a bit of conviction towards the end of the game. The attack has gone downhill. I don't really know what's happened there. They've lost. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, because some of the attack, like the Hail Marys at the end, look pretty good. They almost pulled it off. But I just feel like they're in this slump and they need to get out of it as soon as they can. I think you just got to keep turning up the training, turning up. It's a cliche. I know that's what I'm here for, but there's no other way out. Like, there's no other way out. You can say, sack this guy, sack that guy. It doesn't matter. It's a team effort in losing 5 out of 6 games. Team effort, Dan.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of comments that I'll get to in a minute. Thanks. Keep them coming. I'm going to read all of them, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
There is a lot of calls for certain players to be dropped. We saw Toby Rudolph pay the price for a horrible game last week. Yep. Perfectly. I want to get your thoughts, because it's very, very clear, very on record that Terry and I both said Fitzgibbon's the way forward. Sir Fitz, he's going to deliver the next premiership. I'm waning. I'm waning big time, to the point where I looked at that team tonight and thought, okay, Atkinson on the wing, I get it. No worries. I'm okay with that, circumstantially. But you look at the way that Kayliro is absolutely dudded out of the game in the attacking half. Maybe we saw why, because he had a 1 on none and didn't pass the ball. So maybe that's why. We knew that was coming. This crash play BS from Blake Brayley is just doing my head in. And this creating a 3-on-2, Kennedy finally does an overlap and we hit a bloke running on the inside, gets smashed, loses the ball more often than not. They cannot be training for this, right? That's just got to be no. How to put this? I'm trying not to get censored by YouTube. It's not. They're shit in the bed in the 20. That's how I feel.
Yeah. They're not training that way at all. And on Fitzgibbon, I mean, everyone who listens to my show knows I'm a big fan. I still am. I'm not waning, because I look at the errors they're doing in those opening 20 minutes. What's he supposed to do? I don't know what he's supposed to do to change that. Why can't Sifa Talakai, who's my man, why doesn't he know how to tackle? That's not on the coach. That's on him getting too aggressive. And I'm a huge fan of Talakai. Little things like that. Drop balls, 6 agains. He's not telling him to do that. He's not coaching him to do that. He can't pick 7 new guys every week as much as the fans want him to do that. On the selections this week, you saw it, man. Tom Rodwell was next man up, and he's not ready. So that's why Atco was on the wing. Didn't go particularly good. Didn't go the way I thought it would. That's just lack of, player depth, I guess. That they're kind of running out of troops there, which happens occasionally. But yeah, on the coach, I'm not waning just yet. I know you look at the general results, and I can see why you would be. 5 out of the last 6, I get it. But I think him and Nicho are here long term, so people probably need to get used to that.
Why you bring that up? There was a tweet during the week where a shit stirrer, a well-known shit stirrer, said that he spoke to someone close to Nicho Hynes and that Nicho wanted out of Cronulla. I just want to put that to bed right now. We had a laugh about it. Any bloke, I've done it before. I've tweeted someone close to, and people have jumped in the DMs. I don't know anyone. I don't know anything about anyone. So let's park that. Let's talk about Nicho Hynes. I want your
sure.
I'm going to get as much out of you in the first 20. Then people that are waiting for the blow up, wait about 11 minutes, you'll get it. I made a suggestion a couple of weeks ago. I said to Terry, I would have sat him down after Origin for 2 weeks, either side of the bye, and said, he's got a calf injury, and told him to rest up. I see him come out and say, I can't wait to get into it. I'm this, I'm that, but I need to get away from the spotlight. I understand this. Then he goes and puts a podcast out during the week. I don't want to bag him, but it's getting very close to the point where at what point does he become his own worst enemy? If he's legitimately not the best of mind, 2 weeks would have done him the world of good. And if people want to bag him, turn off your social media, put the papers away. Who reads them anyways? Turn your NRL 360s off. Don't watch Rugby League Outlaws. Do watch Rugby League Outlaws. Just block it out. Take 2 weeks up the coast with your family and don't worry about football. What do you thought?
I want to know, Dan, where he has said that he's not mentally okay to play football. There's people are seeing him make errors and being out of form, and they're going, he's mentally shook. I've got no I haven't heard anything from anyone within the camp say that he's remotely mentally unable to perform his duties. You know, he's just in a slump and he's not the Nicho that we know and love. I think it's complete, you know, get ready for the Shinazzi swear word bullshit that, you know, some fucking kid puts out a tweet and you and I have to answer inbox after inbox for, you know, taking up my precious time. And I say that lightly, precious. I'm not precious about my time. And all of a sudden, the whole world thinks he's not ready to play football. He wants out. He's not happy. There's never been a guy more suited to play at our club as far as off the field goes. He's perfectly happy. He's out of form. He needs to pick it up. He's our best player in theory. He's on the big bucks. He's signed long term. He's the halfback. He's the playmaker. Get it together, bro. I believe he will. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just not playing well. It's that simple, in my opinion only. That simple.
That's fair. I think the comments go back to last year where he said he was shook after the Origin debut and stuff.
That was last year.
I think a lot of it's been drawn in because he didn't have a good Origin. And I mean, if you're $1 million halfback, I go back to what I said the other week. If you're $1 million halfback, you've chosen this life. It's like me and you. If we get people in the street, a guy Miranda met me the other week said, I love your stuff, but my brother hates you. Yeah, okay, I put myself out there. I deserve that. Yeah. Probably, yeah. If that was me, I probably wouldn't have said that my brother hates you bit, but that's on me. Nicho's $1 million halfback who's gone, you know, he's everywhere, as he should be. He's still Ronaldo's my favourite player. I love the bloke, right? But Nicho is probably the player that I want to do best because it helps us, and I'm very selfish in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how you take the pressure off him other than saying, oh, Trindle, touch the ball 7 times a set, which is impossible. Every time Nicho touched the ball tonight, he looked lost. I know he scored a try, but that was all from Ronaldo and Kennedy and Atkinson. Nicho had the least amount to do there, and he scored the try, which, whatever. It's good for my super coach. Who cares? That's fantastic. I've seen people say you switch the 6 and the 7 and everything's fixed. I've heard put him to fullback and put Kennedy to 6, which is just, here's the dance swear word, the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. What
do you think? Did you just write it out with Nicho?
Yeah. Yeah, you write it out. He's paid the big bucks. He's got the talent. People don't know this. The morning after he missed the field goal the other week against the Bulldogs, guess where he was? Shark Park, practicing his field goals. The guy gives a shit. He cares. He cares about the club. It's up to him to turn it around on the field. I understand we're all frustrated. I'm frustrated. I've sworn 3 times on my podcast. But, you know, if this is happening in 2 years' time and he's not the guy for us and he signed a long-term deal, we need to look into it. But a 5-week slump, or however many weeks you want to call it, doesn't put a line through a bloke's career at a club. It's just, is it good enough? No. But, like, I don't know. People just seem so short-fused these days about everything, and I get it. We want him to win. No one wants him to win more than me. I thought tonight he was pretty average. Absolutely. But I don't think he's mentally unwell to play rugby league. And if he was, guess what? He wouldn't be playing. The club would not let him play, and he would be the first one to go, hey, I need a break. That's my opinion.
No, that's cool. Thanks again for the comments, guys. I'll get to him in 5 minutes, yeah. Shinazzi just booked very quick. He's got things to do. I don't. I'm very lucky in that regard. Will Kennedy, mate, I thought he was tremendous tonight. I thought he's been one of our best the last few weeks. But I don't think anyone can argue, myself included, that he's flying. Do we stick with him? Because I'm a well-known Kay Dykes fan, and if he's fit, he's my number one moving forward. He can't stay fit though, so it's hypothetical. Liam Eason is banging doors down, very, very young, not ready yet. Couldn't play this week.
Yep.
At the end of the year, though, is that a discussion, or you're just nailed on? It's Kennedy.
Well, I don't understand what the problem is with Will. Like, you just said he had a good game, right?
Yeah, but overall, I wouldn't have him in the top 13 halfbacks in the competition, fullbacks in the competition.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. Like, Kinney, I would swap for him. Trey Fuller, who's a backup, I would swap for him. I like that David Armstrong's a good kid, but he'd probably be one, being that he's played like 3 games.
Yeah.
And he's their third string now that Fletcher Sharp's in.
I'd rather stick with Will and give Ison a chance to get ready in Cup and let them have a bit of a shootout for it. He's really good, this kid. I've seen him play Cup, seen him play kids, seen him train. He's legit. He's just a bit small at the moment, but he's legit. Not ready, as you said. I don't know, Dan. I'm not convinced the spine's our problem at the moment. They're not going great, but I feel like as a team, they're just like tonight. I'm Royce Hunt's biggest fan. He didn't do it for me.
You can't stop.
He didn't do it for me. He's a guy who is chasing some bucks and chasing a contract down the line. I don't think he's your starter, like you just said. I think that the issue lies more than just, I don't know. I just think that as a team, they've lost their mojo. I can't exactly tell you why. If the halves were firing a bit better, yeah, we'd be going a bit better too. But I don't know. Even both centers tonight were a bit kind of scratchy. They had moments of brilliance, moments of not brilliance. I just think team wide, my man Britton's not heavily involved sometimes. I'm not a fan of Teague Wilton on the bench. He's 80 minutes or he's nothing. Mm-hmm. I think there's things that we need to look into, and maybe it does come back to the coaching, to my boy Fitzgibbon. Maybe it comes back to that. I'm not sure. But I'm trying to avoid the freak out because we're still sitting in the top 4. We've got winnable games coming home. I get the feeling, Dan, if they'd won the opening 20 minutes, they would have won this game. So I've probably been more dramatic on your podcast than I wanted to be, but it's out there for everyone to see live. But I kind of just think we need to win, We just need to win and get back on track, because if you can fix up those disgusting 20 minutes, the rest of it's not that bad. You're not chasing your tail. You're not doing Hail Mary stuff. You're doing more fun things like kicking to the corner and making your tackles. That's what you're doing. So there's problems, but I kind of think they're fixable at this stage. Post Tigers, we could talk again.
Oh, mate, if we lose to the Tigers, I'm calling it out. Season's done. And I don't think that's hyperbole. You can't lose to the Tigers and Titans. We've lost to the 3 bottom teams now: Parramatta, the Tigers, and the Titans. Yeah,
that's a weird stat. Like, that's a weird thing to then go to Melbourne with no players and win and all that sort of stuff. It's a strange year, man. I don't know where we're going to end up, to be perfectly honest. I'm hoping it'll be somewhere fun, but it's a strange year. And I don't know why it's become a strange year. If it's State of Origin, if that's the reason we're going to go with, then I'll stand by my thought every year on State of Origin that it sucks. And all you people that like it can go watch some other 3-game exhibition every year, because it's not for me. It's not for my players. It's just the ridiculous concept that you all get so excited about. My state's better than yours.
Oh, mate, I'm a well-known State of Origin hater. Last question, mate. Thank you so much for your time. You mentioned it before. We were flying early. Last year, we were beating up on the shit teams, and we were struggling against the good teams.
Yeah.
Cronulla is favourites. I don't think they've won a game this year, or maybe one. I think we beat the Bulldogs in round 2. I take that back.
Right.
But as big favourites, we got hammered by Penrith. Parramatta beat us. There was a game where we were favourites that I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And we lost. Tonight, the Dolphins, we were huge favourites at home. I'm going to ask you the question because I don't know. I'm not there. Is there an attitude problem?
No, I don't see it, man. And that's the dead set honest truth. Like, they carry on like every other footballer you've ever met. But there's no we're going to win this easy attitude. No way. I don't see it. I'm not there all the time by any means, but we know people that are, and it's nothing like that. And I know it's easy to say that, and people say that. We get heaps of mail about it. Their mental attitude isn't right. They're not taking this, like, we didn't take this team seriously. I don't even know if that exists in the NRL, man. I think it's a thing that the fans kind of want to believe. If you look at that ladder, the teams are so tight from 1 to 17. Like, Souths are still going to make the 8 potentially. You know what I mean? There's no easy games, and teams like the Sharks should know this after they go to Leichhardt and get flogged by one of the worst teams that ever existed. So if they took it easy in that game, I couldn't tell you. But I don't think since then they would have taken it easy. I know the coaching staff doesn't. They would be up them all the time. I personally don't think there is one. That's my answer. I don't think there is one. And I see a little bit of them more than some other people do, but yeah, I don't think. Because if there is, I don't know if I'd call it out directly, but I'd hint enough to let you guys know that there was an attitude problem.
No, that's perfect, mate. Thanks again for jumping on, man. Like I said, this was
Pleasure.
hastily organised. It was
Pleasure.
literally a text. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm pulling
Sorry
over.
Sorry for my appearance. I don't normally look like this, you know.
Yeah, mate. No, me neither. But, mate, thank you so much. Make sure you catch a shark cast. I'll link it in after this. But, Shinazzi, I will go to all the things. Thank you so much, mate. I will catch you soon. Man.
Maybe shoot me the audio too if you know what I'm talking about.
Done, mate. It'll be there in an hour.
Enjoy, everyone.
Thanks, mate. All right, guys, we're going to go through all the questions. If you have them, hit them up, send them through. If anyone wants to jump on, let me know. I will go through these one by one. Bo, sack the coach. Look, I made a joke about this earlier and said that let's do it. He's not doing much, and what he's doing I don't particularly like. The only problem is we see Parramatta, they sack a coach, and they had no plan B. Jason Riles, I don't think is interested in a job. Josh Hannay is the bloke that looks like he's going to get the Parramatta, and he's responsible for what's going on in Cronulla. And there was talk to Brian Smith. They're considering Brian Smith, which says to me that, are you kidding me? I can't think of a coach who would do a better job. If one would become available, I'm willing to have that chat because I've fallen away. I'll discuss on Fins Up when I can really swear. I'm trying to tonight, but some of these are going to wind me up. So we're moving on. Smitty took the words right out of my mouth, mate. I used a different F word. Thank you for that. Mark, what set plays? It doesn't look like any. The only time we looked like scoring tonight was when we were playing ad-lib football in the last few minutes. We threw the ball around because we had to. The only set play I see is one that I fucking hate, let's be honest, is that crash play. I don't mind it once or maybe twice, but we saw 4 in a row on their line today, and they weren't bending, and they thought, oh, no, we'll go another 5. So I am just – yeah. Nicho needs to be rested. Atco back to the halves. Look, I agree with Nicho needs to be rested, but if Atkinson's our answer, then we're asking the wrong question. I still maintain Cade Dykes is our long-term number 6. Bloke doesn't want to play 6, so what can you do? You can't stay fit. Dead set. Look, yeah, give it a crack. Why not? I'm open for anything. Smitty again, been watching shit for 5 weeks now, mate. I've been 30-something years, but I feel the last 5 weeks been disgusting. It's the false hope that kills you. If we hadn't started so well, I wouldn't care. So what? We're sitting third and we're angry. That's a good thing, but it's also a very, very false third. The one about Sam's beard, yeah, majestic, mate. This is about 12 years unshaven. I'm very jealous. Moving on, Paul Blowtorch has to come on the coach. I'll leave Brayley because I'm going to see if Terry can jump on in a few minutes and let him unload. But, yeah, he's played feels like 500 games in a row. He's the kind of bloke that you wouldn't mind missing a game to bring Beryl in just to see what he's got. I don't want to wish injury on Brayley, but if Beryl was to play next week, I wouldn't be unhappy with that. Another one, it was shit. Yes, it was. Ben, don't drive off a cliff. We'll beat the Tigers next week. Ben, we said that in round 3, mate. So I get it. I love the attitude. But last week said to a remote beach in Malta. Look, Gussie, I joked that. Well, I didn't joke. I suggested that he should sit out for 2 weeks either side of Origin. I don't believe that he is confident, and Nicho's a confidence player. We saw a couple of years ago when he was playing for confidence, no one could get near him. It's gone now. Yeah. Look, Emre Gula, I tweeted that I would swap him for Toby Rudolph and got yelled at. So, mate, I'm actually okay with this. He's a big dopey bloke. Unfortunately, we've got about 4 or 5 of them at the moment. But if you offered me Toby for Emre Gula, I'm taking it because there's some money there that we can use to spend elsewhere. We got beaten by Tanner Boyd. Oh, God, I wish you hadn't said that because that's going to set me off. Kiss you goodbye. Look, the fact we sit third, probably technically no, but I feel exactly the same. It's 6 weeks ago, I felt like we could win a final. Now we'd be lucky. We'll get rissoled by the Bulldogs. Watch. Kenny was pretty good tonight. Tuna finally. I agree with this. I thought Tuna was really, really good in that he tried his guts out. I don't think Nicho did. I thought Tuna carried us tonight. Yeah, look, he's not the best player in the game, and he made a stupid error a couple of weeks ago. I think it's time I move on for that, but I'll probably never forgive him. It was the Jack Bird, Greg Bird for me. Bradley doesn't get bashed by the media for being rubbish. This is a very, very good question. I tweeted tonight at the 60th minute that Blake Bradley had 0 runs for 0 meters, had missed 6 tackles, and had copped 3 tries. And everyone said, hey, tackle's really hard. Okay, He's a stat patter. Yeah, I'm not going to come here and say that he's a great dude. I've met him numerous times. He's a lovely bloke. He's never going to be in the papers for doing something stupid, but he should never, ever, ever be linked to a New South Wales side. He should be playing New South Wales Cup next week. This is a bloke who makes 30 tackles and gives away 300 post-contact meters. He just cannot win the ruck. I don't know whether he's too small or whether he gets beat up because he is making so many tackles. Put Jaden Beryl on the bench. Brayley, if he doesn't have to play 80 minutes, maybe he goes for a run. Smitty, Kennedy was our best. He's fullback, not forward. Mate, I thought Kennedy was fine tonight. 100% I thought he was fine. He's not the Will Kennedy that I thought he was, but he's good. If you offered me Trey Fuller, though, I'm taking it. Trooks gets 10 minutes. Thank you, Paul, for bringing this up. Huge was on the field tonight for what seemed like 3 sets of 6. He almost killed 2 blokes, broke 2 tackles and set up a line break. And then he gets hooked. Now, people say, he's not fit. He's not this, he's not that. Bloke played like 70 minutes for the Jets last week and ran for like 200 meters. He was the best player in the park. It's all right to have this 10-minute burst player if you got to play like a Royce Hunt in that, but you can't carry 4 of them. So, yeah, that's absolutely a coaching error. Nicho holds that intercept where celebrating him. Look, the fact that he dropped that intercept probably has a lot to do with the fact that people are bagging him in the comments. Trust me, there's worse to come because he picked the ball up. He could have ran 80 meters, scored, and it's game over, but he knocked the ball on with no one within 5 meters. So, yeah, good shout. You're probably right. If some butts don't get results, 100%. I haven't seen – if anyone's seen what Fitz has said in the thing, can you jump in and tell me in the press conference? Because if it's another week and we tried hard and we just got to get things right, I'll ball up. Previously mentioned, should turn his phone off, but I do feel for him. He cups no matter what. Look, he does. Let's be honest. He could have been the best player on the field tonight. We're still going to bag Nicho because he's on $1 million and he's a halfback. That's just the nature of the beast. It's easy to say turn your phone off. There's some time on Twitter, and I don't want to make this about me, where I cop some filthy shit. I don't care because my ego's huge. You can't hurt me. But I know my brother's read that, and he's messaged me and said, are you all right? I don't give a fuck. It's not as easy as that. Smitty, I'm pissed off, not frustrated. Yeah, good shout. Me too. Oregon tried hard tonight. I thought he was okay. The poor Oregon Kafusi. It's funny that someone said he's not a starter, far from it. Look, he's not in our top 2 props. Let's be honest. Next year, it's going to be Adam Fennell-Blake and Braden Hamlin-Ueli if the bloke can ever get fit. Huge if at the moment, but they're our killer forwards and the rest work around it. I was convinced Toby Rudolph was the other one, but I'm not now. I would happily move him on, and that's coming from a bloke who considers him a friend, but football's got to come first. I thought Oregon was okay tonight. He tries hard, and ultimately 3 weeks in a row he started, and he's touched the ball twice in the opening 20 minutes because we just got to tackle all the time. Kennedy's been playing out of his skin. Yeah, look, good shout. He's been okay, but I want to see the sweep play that we saw with Matt Moylan. We got a bloke on Twitter that every time we drop the ball goes, Matt Moylan wouldn't have done that. You kind of want to, chin the bloke, but also he's kind of right. Tall Tom submitting a tackle. Saw that today, although I think it's more about him finding his front. He did that early and we scored off the next play. So I think that might be a tactic. I hate it. The dude's 7'6". He should be running. Another one, Kennedy's been bloody solid. Yeah, look, maybe I'm being harsh on Kennedy. I apologize. He's been pretty good. Vanilla bloke, pressure is worn off. Hey, this is a great shout. Earlier in the year when we signed him, it seemed like the players woke up and like, oh shit, we're here for it. We got to run for this or we're done next year when we get arguably the best prop in the game. Number 2, number 3, top, bottom. Right now, though, you look at that forward pack. Who would sign for any other team? Sivitalica would make a lot of benches. Sorry. T. Wilton, I still think, if he plays 80 minutes. Nicker is handy. Which of those bench forwards would make any other squad in the NRL right now? Like, honestly, I agree. I want Fitz to go in and say, those contracts. Well, we've had blokes, bigger names on bigger contracts, and we walked them. So, exactly. Sorry, Matt, I don't know what that was. I've fallen behind you. Tigers beat the Storm at Leichhardt, and then we're up against it. Oh, God, that would be horrible. If we lose to the Tigers next week, so help me God, I just think I'm going to quit. It's done now. Yeah, it is. Bulldogs round 2 is the only home game win I've been as a Sharks fan. Stop going, mate. Stop going, please. Oh, no, that's a joke. I went to the first few. Penrith's the first loss I saw, and then the Dolphins, so too. Helens Katoa, he's back next week. HIA. Stone Street, I believe, is 1 to 2 weeks, which sucks because this kid is just – he's so good, and if he plays tonight, we win. For favourites, we lose. 100%, I can't remember the last time we won as favourites. What, round 2, Bulldogs?
Yes.
that says it all. I'm sure there's a game I'm forgetting. Maybe one of the Canberra games probably. Kicking options in attack. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look, Trindle took most of the kicks tonight. I'm convinced there's a confidence issue with Nicho. I know they're supposed to say otherwise, but I believe that's the way it is. And Trindle's doing most of the kick-in. We'll see. So next week, if we lose the Tigers, it's done. Going to the South game. Said to my wife, I don't want to go. Hey, mate, I don't blame you. I full disclosure, I left at halftime during the Penrith game. Kids had the sniffles, and I use them as an excuse. But if it was me when I was years ago, I probably would have stuck to the end. But I'm not going to put the kids through that garbage. Cheers, Sam, looking lovely. What a handsome man. 5-hour drive down to it. That sucks. We had a lot of people up there, and a lot of people I know, which is real good. So yeah, so we cut more, and then I'll open it up. Hannah shouldn't be in. Yeah, well, if he's our attacking coach, the Parramatta need to just fold. One from Go the Roosters. Bloody trolls. Yeah, we're getting beaten the forwards. Past few games, Tommy needs a rest. Agreed. Kafusi, no meat eater. He tries hard, but you're right. Mate, only so many players can play for the Jets. But there's a name. I'm just going to get a water. Sorry for the motion sickness. There's a player called Jesse Colquhoun. I just want to introduce him to the coaching staff because obviously they don't know who he is. He's been our best player for Newtown for many, many weeks, has the size and footwork that no other prop we have, and he's got a motor because he plays 65-plus minutes. Played 80 routinely in the back row before shifting into the middle. So he is the answer for mine. And if he's not playing next week, then I don't know what I'll do, to be totally honest. Post credits, my boys. Say hello to us.
We're shit.
We are shit, mate, but that's all right. I'll handle that. Sorry, I'll get this working. I've got tickets to the Warriors game, flights booked and everything. Want to get what's the question?
Is Blake Brolly going to be the most undeserved 250 gamer in club history?
Yes. Everyone knows my thoughts on Blake Braley. I'll say that for the podcast, but that's a good question. Anybody want to help our mate, our Kiwi mate, for the I should get a refund, mate. I wish I had a dollar for every time I've said I'm going to give up on the Sharks and I go back. I could give you the refund and have money left over to buy a plane. Colquhoun and Hamlin will start next week. Love it. Get it done. 100% agreed. Other teams have figured this out. Mate, well, when you do nothing for 78 minutes and then decide you want to play football in the last two, it's not a good game plan. Yep, Stream said, mate, thank you. Me too, because honestly, if I sit in my own head, anyone who follows me on Twitter, I apologise. I vent there. It's where I do all my venting. And last week, it wasn't very good. And I apologise to anyone that had to read it. Need another start. Yeah, good point. Tamari Martin's off contract at the end of the year. I would 200% be going in on him. Jesse's going to leave the Sharks. We weren't playing. Look, I was worried Kailero was going to leave. Not as worried if he leaves now as I was 6 weeks ago. But, yeah, straight up, Jess Colquhoun needs to come into this team right away. Opinion on Hero tonight. Good question. I thought he was pretty dire, to be totally honest. He should have drawn a pass. Ronaldo scores untouched, and boy, did Ronnie let him know about it too. It's all good to make 100, 200 metres. I don't think he missed a tackle tonight. I don't know. I haven't checked the stats, but I can't remember him missing a tackle. He made about 6 half breaks, but at a point, he's got to learn to pass. Vossi unblocked Paul.
He's not blocked.
He says he is. Unblock him. I love Kailero. I still think he's our left centre option, but a lot of people are reminding me of soft hand Sif, the touch of Talakai. Haven't seen that from Euro yet. If it doesn't come, then look elsewhere. 100%. Twitter's the best. Well, it's free. Enjoy before I start charging. Unblock right now, please. He's going to unblock you, Paul. I promise. All right, boys. I'm just going to try and get Terry on. Won't be 2 seconds.
He's currently looking for an alibi.
Yeah. If not, I'll open it up.
3 runs for 20 metres.
3 for 20. That's quality right there. Okay, here we go. Iro, 15 tackles, 2 missed, 1 effective. Yeah, that makes. I'm surprised he didn't do that much work, to be totally honest. Blues 4. That's all. I'll get it done, mate. Don't worry. I'm just trying to see if Terry will jump on, guys. Won't be 2 seconds. If not, I will This would be a mad for. Yeah, we should. But so I'll tell you what. I'm going to put a link in the thing. Anyone who wants to jump on, just click the thing and I'll invite you on. We'll just do another 10 minutes. I'm just trying to buy time until Terry gets here. Any other depth options? Look, we probably are missing Connor Tracy. I would have preferred him tonight than Dan Atkinson, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But I know I never thought I'd say that. I apologise. The depth's there. Sam Stone Street's a freak. Like, he is genuinely a freak of nature, but he just can't stay fit. And for Newtown, he hasn't been touching the ball enough for mine. Like, this is a bloke who should touch the ball 20 times a game. He's doing 5 or 6, and then they completely cut him out. Newtown is super frustrating to watch. Won't be said, guys. You might hear a bit of bounce back here, but it's all right. It's going super professional.
Like a shot.
Dan's trials. Yeah, it was. It was a brilliantly done. Brilliant ball from Trindle. Loved it. Hold on. I'm going to do this. All right. Hold on. In the chat, there is a thing if you want to click it and jump in. First team best draft. No one wants to join me. I'm just gonna yell it for a minute. There'll be much more on Fins Up. I'm saving the rant because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, but yeah, not good. No much sound. Yeah. Look, he's only a winger. He could potentially play fullback, but he's really tall. He's the fastest player in the game in Cronulla by a long way. He's so tall. He's just a perfect winger. He reminds me of like Will Warbrick, except he's not shit. So like that's probably the body type. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a Xavier Coates kind of player. Maybe not as magic as Xavier Coates. That's ridiculous, but. He's going to be very, very good. Please keep an eye out and get on the Stone Street bandwagon. Why do I keep butchering the start? Mate, I legitimately have no idea. It cannot be coaching to go out there and say, "Oi, go out there, boys, and be shit." Go get behind, see if we can play catch-up. It was funny the other day. I was watching some 2016 highlights at the gym, and we fell behind so often and just kept running people down for laughs. Maybe he's looked at that and said, oh, maybe we can do the 2016. We don't have Michael Ennis, James Maloney, Luke Lewis, Val Holmes in high form. Barber, Chad. Oh, Chad. Gee, we could have had Chad. Yeah, look. Oh, dead set.
Great sign for Roosters.
Great sign for Roosters. Love that. Yeah, look, I have no idea. I don't think anyone knows, unfortunately. Nicho's form, oh, mate, I wouldn't go that far. I would rather us run out there than Puru. He's been not good for the Jets at all. But what the hey, give him a shot. We've seen what we got from Nicho Hynes, and it just isn't working lately. And I'm still very much on the Nicho Hynes bandwagon. But it's waning, I'll tell you now. But, yeah, it's all good. So, sorry, some guys at the game are just trying to get some videos through. They're not happy, but I won't run them. I'll put them on my Twitter, at Sully Dan, later because they're not. Again, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. We're not monetized or anything. I don't want to cop the well, you can't say that word on YouTube anymore. All right, guys, any more questions and stuff? Otherwise, I'm gonna go yell at this current game. What's the score?
6-4 Broncos.
6-4 Broncos. Who cares is the right answer.
Panthers fans line up about their halfback too.
Good. First 20 minutes are worse in the comp. Can someone do a stat check if you have a second? Is anyone as bad as us in the opening 20? I couldn't tell you. Maybe the Tigers. Yeah, depth is one of the main problems. Dan Atkinson is, impact, gets caught up. Yeah, look, Sifa can't play 80 minutes. Not on this role. It's saying he can, but he's changed his body type. How T. Wilton doesn't start on the left with Talakai coming through the middle, that's beyond me. That's a coaching error, in my opinion. Why doesn't Browse run the ball? Mate, it took him 70 minutes. He took two runs and almost set up tries both times. I don't know. I don't know. But I think we need to
Doesn't want to get dirty.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to get dirty. It's a bit of a conspiracy theory, and I don't believe this for a second, but he's played so many games in a row, maybe he doesn't want to get hurt. Nicho ain't a 7, he's a 6 or a 1. Mate, look. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm trying to be combative here. I can't do that. Yep, you're right. I don't think he's a fullback, though. He went back there a year or two ago and was atrocious. No, I can't.
Raiders at Magic Round
Raiders at Magic Round.
last year. Year before.
As favourites?
As fullback.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're exactly right. Here you go. Blake ran 29 metres. Yeah, it was a 2 in the last couple of sets. Before then, he had no ball whatsoever. It's just have a go, mate. Like, I know he ran into the markers. They were offside for me. I don't rate that Ziggy guy, but I'm not blaming the referees. Please don't take that out of context. The starter's been a problem all season. It's on the coach. Look, yeah, look, Shinazzi straight up said it wasn't an attitude problem. I believe it's an attitude problem. His brother's not getting renewed at the Knights. No, look, I cop a lot of grief because I said we had the best Brayley. It's not saying much unless Taj is better. Fingers crossed. I don't want to turn this into a Brayley bashing session, but he's better than Jaden. Jaden's a great dude and a real fun follow on Instagram, but he offers – well, look, Newcastle, who are infinitely shitter than us, want to get rid of him, and he's their club captain. So that says everything. 6 missed tackles. See, this is a problem. He doesn't get a missed tackle credit for that one where the bloke just ran straight through him, so he didn't get a hand on him. And 3 of those misses, or 2 of those misses, plus that led directly to tries. And have you got his ineffective tackles? Because if it's lower than 50, bugger me dead. Again, I don't want to bag one player, but it's very hard when you're not playing very well. He can kick though. Who was that? Sorry, mate. Brayley? Because I can't remember last time that bloke kicked. Or do you mean Atkins? Oh, Blake. Jaden. Yeah, no, he can. That's a good shout. But that's about where the skills. And I'm a fan of both as people, just not as football. Starting props. Hey, look, yes and no, because they didn't get any ball. For the past 3 weeks, they've been defending for so many tackles. It's hard to, 120-kilo bloke go, hey, I know you made 25 tackles in 6 minutes, but have a hit up. But yes, our starting props, I think, are probably the Tigers aside the worst in the competition. That's just how I feel. Again, this is all my opinion. I'm not the be-all and end-all. I'm a know-it-all, but I'm not the be-all and end-all. Can we do an SOS to Jeff Robson? Hey, look, we're gonna need an assistant coach soon because I think Josh Hannay is going to go ruin the Eels more than they're already ruined from the inside. So, look, bring him back. What the hey? I don't know who's linked to the job, but I want an attacking player. I don't want a Michael Ennis or a Paul Gallen. I want some new blood. I want, say, I can't think of anyone offhand. Jason Riles isn't doing anything. He'd be nice, but he's only going to move for a full-time role. I don't know what the answer is. Anyone got any suggestions for who you'd throw in as your assistant coach? Because right now, Liam Breeze?
Lee Breeze from the Broncos.
Lee Breeze from the Broncos. Hey, they know how to score points.
He
quit. All right, Lee Breeze is the one. Here we go. Ronaldo to fullback, Sam on the wing. This I love. I've wanted Ronaldo to play fullback for a long time now. This bloke just hammers every run. He had 6 touches tonight. And I said stupidly he's the best winger in the world. He's gone out of his way to prove me wrong since then. But I still love Ronnie. Yeah, give it a go, 100%. And if you said to me right now, you lose Katoa, but Stone Street plays every game, I'm taking it because he is the future. Go Sharkies, black, white, and blue next week. I hope so, Harley. I really do. Here we go. Chris, just watch presser. Started off well for Fitz. Just say the first 20 minutes. Next question. As Wes said, you. Yeah, I'll watch it later. Thank you, mate. And I'll try and do a reaction on the pod. I don't know. I'll hit record later on the podcast. Trying to get Terry. I'm stalling. If he's not here in 5 minutes, we'll log off and I'll let you guys go yell at me on Twitter. But the 20 sucked. But even after that, we had enough ball to win that game 3 times. And it's the Titans. Let's be honest. It's the fucking Titans. Dan Atkinson. Yeah, he might have to start a prop next week. Look, I don't dislike Dan Atkinson at all. I think this guy would die for the club, die for the jersey, and that is something that we need. So good shout. Good stuff, Harley. I love it. I love it, sport. Hey, don't get me wrong. People think I bag the Sharks because it's a gimmick and stuff. You can't hate what you don't love. And I love it. And just the other day, I spent $160 on a jersey, got it signed by the girls. Fantastic stuff. Really looking forward to that. A couple of weeks that kicks off. We'll start talking about that soon. But, yeah. I love him, but, geez, I hate him just as much. Nathan Gardner's still running about. He's playing in Newcastle, I think. He's put about 20 kilos on. I love Nathan Gardner, but I don't know what he could offer other than wait for blokes to miss tackles and let me run 80 metres. What a try, by the way. Look, you can't use it as an excuse. Ziggy sucks. Let's call a spade a spade. He sucks. But, he wasn't responsible. We are. How Matt Moore? Look, always. But if he were to sign for Cronulla and play next week, I legitimately would not watch another game for the rest of the year. called Passion. 100%, man. I love the passion of like my DM tonight. I have about 60 unread. I'll read them later. Most of them are joking. Are you okay? They all do that or checking welfare check on Southo Dan. A lot of people like you talk a lot of shit. Other people like you say what we want to. I can just hit go live and yell. Thank you though, mate. I really appreciate it. I do love this team a lot. I love the Jets. I probably get more frustrated with the Jets because I expect more. Yeah, our girls team looks very strong. I think the Roosters are undoubtedly the favourites. I think the Titans, they got Jamie Chapman. She's a fucking cheat code. I love that woman. There's not one of you in the chat. I wouldn't push down the stairs for Jamie Chapman just to make her laugh. So get that into ears. We're probably the third best team behind the Bronx and the Roosters. Newcastle are good. They lost a few players. Probably the fourth best team. Hey, look, let's make finals this year, and who knows what happens from there. But yeah, it's a great team. Nicho Hynes, best player. Oh, I love this, Harley. Can you message me, please, after? I'm gonna see if I can get an Outlaw shirt out to you. I think we only got large left though, because Terry keeps sending it to the rest. Understandable. Yeah, I get angry. I use Twitter as a venting machine. I'm not like that in real life. Well, I am. Shut up. A little bit like that. But no, I go off on Twitter, so I don't go off on the trains in real because I go off on the trains. Right, one more thing to reach out. I don't think Terry's going to go on, guys, so I'm gonna call it. If anyone's got anything, hit me up next 2 minutes. But thanks for joining. Check out the podcast during the week because it's going to be a lot less relaxed than this because Terry has a way of stirring me up. Here we go. First time I heard the Shark song, Shark Heart, was when the girls. Was that the Canberra game? Because yeah, that was good. That was I love watching the girls. I'm gonna cop grief for this, but I don't care. I get as much enjoyment out of them winning as I do the blokes. You put a chronology. If I watch Flag, it's all I care about in the world. And then you ask me to name 5 players, I couldn't. Expect plenty of content for the girls this year. I think they'll do amazingly. Hanging out with Terry. Look, Terry sucks. Let's call a spade a spade. He's not here to defend himself, so Terry sucks. Now I love him dearly, but he's a big tall idiot. I couldn't have said it better myself. But guys, I'm gonna go watch the second half of this garbage. Thank you so much for joining us. Check out the podcast this week. I'm gonna go off skis. Thanks, Alf. You're all legends. Hit me up. Let's get this. There's no reason this needs to go. Thanks for this. It was Mad Doers of Fins. I'll put the audio up. If anyone wants to re-listen, I'll put the audio up in a little bit, and Sam will run it on his channel. And yeah, I should start putting some ads in this. I don't know. So Top Sport sponsor us on Outlaws, but I haven't gone to look for a sponsor because I don't want to get called out for some of the shit I said. Spanning to play prop at the moment. Couldn't do much worse. Mate, 5 years ago, I would have been the first person to book Vegas, but now I'm too old, let's be honest. I'd go over there and waste it. But no, I don't want to go to Shark Park next week. I'll be there, but I don't want to. So, yeah, anyone going to Vegas, better than I am. Thanks again, guys. I don't know, hail. There's a week to
Jersey
football.
Flag.
Yeah, Flag play tomorrow. Annoying you on Twitter. I can't wait to see my hats. I've got 162, so I'm sure this will be a fun night, guys. Now, thanks again, and fuck Sharks.
Hey, shut up.